How are you guys doing today? Today I want to talk about some things, 10 things actually to look for when repairing your own credit, DIY style. So stay tuned. My name is Jay and welcome to Ask a Debt Collector, a subsidiary of Clear and Strategic. Now, I've been in the debt collection industry for over 15 years. I've done it all, from management to owning 2 debt collection companies. Over the last 10 years, I've been the go-to guy for friends and family for questions regarding debt and credit. Now I want to be that person for you. If you have any questions, put them down in the comment section. I promise I'll answer those questions. Let's go. Owning a credit repair company, I've learned so many things with regards to repairing clients' credit. I want to give you the 10 steps to do so. Now, if you don't want to go through these steps and you want a professional to help you, down below is a 20-minute free consultation to sign up for that, as well as I have a big thank you to each and every one of you guys who have subscribed to this YouTube channel. I'm a little over 1,000 subscribers as of now. For those of you who have been following me from the beginning, you know it was just something that I started back when the pandemic hit. I actually owned a debt collection company. And I just didn't feel comfortable calling people to pay debt when they couldn't afford to pay their mortgage or rent when that pandemic first hit around. So I decided to start this YouTube channel, which morphed into this credit repair business. As a Debt Collector, Clear and Strategic is the name of the company. But thanks to you guys giving me the courage to continue to share videos and to upload videos and to do that. So I'm at over 1,000 subscribers. Now I just got to get my watch time hours up and we'll be going. So continue to share these videos, continue to like these videos. And if you're brand new to this YouTube channel, look at hitting that subscribe button. So let's get back into it. So the reality is, when preparing your credit on the DIY credit repair side, I know it's difficult. I've had a business, and through having this business, I came up with these 10 things to look for on your credit profile, right? When cleaning up your credit. One of the first things, obviously, you're going to have to do is get a copy of your credit report, all 3 credit reports, and specifically, I would recommend that you get it all through some company. Now, if you want a company that I actually use, it's called Smart Credit. There should be a link in the description down below. Feel free to opt in for that. As well as I use My Free Score now, which is owned by Smart Credit. But same situation, it's down below. You get all 3 credit bureaus. And that's the most important part. Because without that credit bureau, it's like your report card. You won't be able to do anything. Check anything, know anything with regards to your credit profile. So you have to have it. I recommend getting some type of credit monitoring service, but nevertheless, let's get into the 10 things that you have to look for. I believe this video will be a little bit longer than my normal, but it's to help each and every one of you guys out. The first thing I say to look for is incorrect personal information, right? Look at your credit profile. Look at the names that they have for you. Look at the place of employment. Look at your phone number and all that personal information. Make sure it's the same across the board. Not only does it look clean to creditors when they're pulling a copy of your credit report to vet you to see if you can get approved for credit, it helps out. Now, there are a lot of things out there. Yes, it is true, by having one name, one social security number, one address and work and phone number and all of that. Sometimes the old addresses are attached to old accounts, so by getting rid of that, that will make it a little easier when you're disputing your accounts. But ultimately, you just want to have that across the board because, believe it or not, you want to be able to get correspondence. One of the worst things that happens with clients is you move, and a matter of fact, I was just talking to a client yesterday who moved, and due to the fact that he forgot about a bill, something ended up being placed on his credit. They mailed out that first demand letter from a collection agency, and because it was at the wrong address, he never received it. And a lot of times when you move from an address, especially if you live in an apartment, sometimes when you're renting a house or even if you're buying a brand new house, when mail comes from someone that used to live at that address, a lot of times what people do is throw it away, or they'll just discard it. They don't send it back mail return. And so if it's not mail returned, as a debt collection company, they're going to send it out, and you have the 30 days to dispute the validity of that debt. And because you moved and you didn't get that mail, it gets placed on your credit profile. That's one of the reasons why I say make sure your personal information on your credit profile is updated the same. Now, I know it's hard to get rid of the older addresses and so forth, but just make sure across the board they have your current address and information for you where you're at now, so that if in fact someone needs to send some correspondence to you, you will get it. The second to look for when you're looking at your credit profile after you got that done is accounts that don't belong to you. Very important to look for those accounts. Believe it or not, contrary to popular belief, sometimes I've come across clients who, because they have the same name and maybe lived in the same state as someone else, or maybe even the addresses are similar and the zip code's different, or whatever the circumstance is, there will be accounts that could be added on your profile that you never had and you don't know where it came from. Those are easy disputes to get them off of your credit profile, so it's important to look for those accounts. And then obviously those of you who are dealing with a fraud situation, then you can file the police report, get all the proper documentation, and get that stuff removed off of your credit profile. Now, I'm not an advocate of doing that fraud situation if in fact it's not an account that you opened up, but on the flip side, if it is, go that route and it can help you out. Number 3, look for missing accounts. I can't tell you how many times I came across clients and I'm like, well, how many credit cards you have? And they'll say 4, and we look at the credit profile and there's only 3. And then by process of elimination, you find out one of the credit cards aren't being reported on your credit profile. And sometimes that can happen just by mistake. You got to understand, you're dealing with human beings and we make errors and mistakes all the time. And not having that type of account, obviously if it's good payment history and you're making your payments on time and so forth, you want it on your credit profile because you want to get credit for that to help with your FICO score. Number 4, the thing to look for on your credit profile is incorrect public records. Look at that information. Judgments, liens, foreclosures, all of that type of stuff is in your public record area. Look at that. A lot of times that stuff is killing your FICO score, killing your credit score. So if you look at that information, you see incorrect information with regards to that, be sure to dispute it and get it off of your credit profile, because a lot of times those judgments can stay up to 10 years and even further, 20 years, if in fact the creditor gets another writ for another judgment. In the state of California, that's what it is. But nevertheless, you don't want judgments, liens, and foreclosures on your credit profile. You're looked at as very risky and as a person who just doesn't care about your credit. So look for that incorrect information, get that stuff off of your credit profile. Number 5, accounts that are not accurate. One of the things that people do not understand, just like everything else, is credit bureaus. They're getting information furnished from creditors or debt collection companies. And sometimes they'll furnish that information and it's incorrect. If it is incorrect on your credit profile, you can dispute that stuff and get it off of your credit profile, and like as if it was never there. The credit bureaus, one of the laws that they have to report the information on your credit profile, and it has to be accurate. Something as simple as the date open can be wrong across the board on your credit profiles, and you can get that item deleted strictly off of that reason. Number 6, and this is a big one, duplicate accounts on your credit profile. A lot of times it will be duplicate accounts. The reason why is because debt is purchased and sold in bulks a lot of times. So you may have an account with Capital One who sold the account to a debt collection company, who sold it to another debt collection company. I've seen accounts 5 times on someone's credit report because the account was purchased and sold 5 different times. The reality is, with duplicate accounts, it can only be reported on your credit profile 1 time. Get rid of those other 6, 5, 2, or even 2 times, because what ends up happening is it's affecting your credit score as if it's 2 different accounts, and you don't want that. So duplicate accounts can be disputed off of your credit profile just as a duplicate account, and you can get that removed. Number 7, look for data management errors. That is basically where it comes almost to the factual dispute. When you're looking at your credit profile across the board on each credit bureau, Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian, it should be the same. If you're looking at information on your credit profile and that data information is input incorrect, you can have that removed off of your credit report. So data management errors happen all the time where it's just incorrect information. You can dispute that stuff and have it off even though you owe it on that account. The 8th thing I say to look for is delinquent and derogatory accounts. This is affecting your credit profile when you're looking at that type of stuff, whether it's 30 days late on your account, right? Those, I've stated this before, 30 days late payments on your credit profile can drop your credit score 30 to 100 points and sometimes even more. So those derogatory marks, you want to get them removed, as well as delinquencies, right? If you have accounts that's been sent to collections that has been charged off and you haven't paid it, those are the accounts that you want to dispute or take care of to get them removed off of your credit profile. While we're talking about that, if you end up having to pay a account, down below I have a free letter bundle. And it has a pay to delete letter in there. It has a template for that. You just add your information there and make sure you get the address to where you need to send it to the original creditor to remove those late payments. The 9th thing I say to look for is fraudulent activity, right? Believe it or not, especially in California, a lot of times I get clients who pull their credit profile. I had a client who pulled his credit profile, and in a positive standpoint, it showed that he had 2 houses where somebody fraudulently used his information, got 2 mortgages, was actually paying the mortgages on time. His credit profile was pretty good, and due to that, fraud happened with regards to the account. Now, file the police report, do the proper documentation and so forth with regards to that, get that stuff moved out. But on the negative side, obviously, as we know, fraud happens a lot. People are opening up credit cards and getting loans and so forth in people's names. Use the credit card, charge it up, don't make a single payment, and then later you end up finding out it's on your credit profile. But in order to stay on top of that, that's why I say have credit monitoring, so that way, if someone was to apply for something or something happened, you'll get an alert to let you know, and then you can say, hey, I never applied for this, and whoever is fraudulently trying to open something up in your name, it will not happen. The 10th and final thing I say to look at is incorrect inquiries on your credit profile. You got to look at that stuff, because typically in a 2-year time span, you don't want to have more than 2 inquiries, or you're looked at as risky. I've even myself, when I was in the high 7s, I've applied for credit cards and got declined. And the only reason why I got declined is because I had multiple inquiries, right? But sometimes inquiries are incorrect on your credit profile. You can dispute that stuff and get it off of your credit report. That is all the 10 things to look for. If you want a professional to help you out with it, you don't want to go through these 10 things, you don't have the time for that, down below is a 20-minute free consultation to sign up for that and to do that. Again, thank you for 1,000 subscribers. I just never thought that I would have that many people who actually care about the information that I'm saying with regards to credit and debt. And hey, 1,000 people did it across the platform, so I'm really happy with regards to that. And if you have any questions, put them down in the comment section. I promise I'll answer those questions. And as I always state, you be